Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So today is going to be a little different. It is true crime related, but we're not going to be talking about the case necessarily. Of course, there will be little things that peek through. So you guys know that Jen and I have been watching the Karen Reed case as if we were jurors without any background knowledge. And over the last couple of days, I was looking online and I had started to see different things about her supporters and people helping with her defense. And it sent me down a rabbit hole. I don't want to like focus on any certain supporters or anything like that, but I want to have the conversation. I want to show you this fan club that has convened, I don't know how to say it, this fan club that has been created for Karen Reed. It's really interesting. I don't know that I think we see this sometimes with men, specifically like Bundy, Richard Ramirez. We've seen this in the past where people would be standing outside cheering them on and, all that kind of stuff. Young girls showing up. But this is the first I've ever seen it quite like this. And I just find it so interesting. I can't wait to show you guys the different articles and videos and TikToks and all the things that I found. So we're going to be like hopping around all over the place from TikTok to Instagram to regular articles and all that kind of stuff. But let me say hello to you guys and then we'll get into it. I cheated and watched some of the pre-trial court proceedings today. Teacup, I also saw a little bit of that, like peeking through looking for these videos. There was a lot about the trial and stuff. Because I would search Karen Reed supporters, Karen Reed protesters, Karen Reed fashion, which is another topic that's been kind of brought about with this case. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. So, but listen, even if you see some of what happened prior to trial, just don't let it affect the judgment that you would make if you were on the jury, because we'll see that with cases that have been on the news and stuff like that. They will let you be on the jury if you can separate that from what you've seen at trial, and it doesn't weigh in on it doesn't mean anything as far as your decision goes. So let me say hello to you guys though, and then we'll talk all about it. Hey, Punksy. Hey, Mayla's mom. Hey, Kathy R. I've been kicked off the jury for falling behind. You're not kicked off. Hey, Neat. Hey, Bo. I think we're all kind of behind to a degree. Hey, Adrian, Nate D. Good to see you guys. Hey, Sexy Wild Thing, McLovin, freaking baby face claws. Hey, Claudia. Hey, Amber Lou. K-Braze. My volume is low. Interesting. Hold on. Okay, let me know how I sound now. Thank you, Neat. I forget now who I've even said hello to. Hey, Queen Olive. So I'm really curious, how many of you guys, hey, Luanna, were following this before the trial? Hey, Selena. Hey, Past. Hey, Citizen Sleuth. Good to see you guys. Hey, Angie, Sherry. How many of you guys were following before? Because another thing, and this is going to come up in some of the videos we look at, there has been I think he's a YouTuber, but he also has like websites and other social media and stuff. Like a citizen journalist who is local in the area. And he has been kind of pointing out that this is a cover-up for a long time. And now he has harassment charges against him. Now we can dig into that at a later date. There's going to be some clips of him and stuff, and he will somewhat come up in our conversation, but not in depth. I have been following it. Hello, Melissa Jade. Thank you, Luanna. I hope these supporters will be able to support the jury verdict should it not go in her favor. The evidence is still coming out. Well, wait and see, because you will be absolutely mind blown at just how many supporters she has if you haven't seen. And I mean, I'm going to go ahead and warn you now. There's one account we're going to look at on TikTok that is a mom and her little girl. It doesn't really show like the little girl up close in the face or anything. It's more like videos from her behind. But, the mom, I was reading in her comments, she basically was saying, I'm teaching my daughter about your civil rights and standing up for yourself and all of that stuff. It's interesting, though. There is a lot of support for her. There's also a lot of people who feel that she's guilty. Hey, Deeds. Good to see you. Hey, Natasha. Deeds, I cannot get over this. There are so many little parts of this that are just like very, very interesting. For real. Hey, hippie chick. I've been following for a while. Oh my gosh, you guys, are your kids, like, if you have little ones in school, you know how stressful, even though it's like exciting for summer, the end of the year is so hectic. And then other thing, like life is just hectic right now. Hey, Toby Bird. Hey, Mia. Good to see you. That's me. I feel she is guilty, but on accident. One of the things that I saw today, like that slipped through when I was doing the, like looking for stuff on her supporters and that kind of thing, was a video of her at her arraignment, I think. I don't know, because I didn't look into it any further, but she was talking about, I did save one clip that has her talking in it just because I hadn't heard her voice, but this was like at a court hearing. And she says, do you know that Colin and Brian Albert, like he was in a fight with Colin and Brian Albert or something like that. I think teaching your kids about due process and their rights is a good thing, but maybe keep their images off of social media. Well, I mean, that's really what this lady's, like, to me, so far, what I've seen, her entire social media is. Like, it's her in the, I don't know. It's very interesting. Okay, let me first pull up an article. So, hey, Nature Rocks. Oh, I hope you feel better. All right, so we're going to look at this article first. This comes from Daily Beast. It says, this accused murderer has super fans bankrolling her defense. Karen Reed is on trial for allegedly killing her cop boyfriend. A bunch of people who don't even know her are determined to clear her name. Now, I saw this. This is part of what led me down this rabbit hole. So I was on Twitter and I saw that someone had put on Twitter, look, Karen Reed speaks out. And what she had actually done is comment on a post on Facebook that had something to do with some of these people who are paying for her defense and all the donations they've taken up. And she said basically all the money that they've gotten has went to my defense, like standing up for them. But this is part of like what led me down this, wanting to talk about this with you guys. I just think it's so interesting. I think it's so odd how many people are going off the hinges to defend a stranger, honestly. Mayla's mom says, I agree. Okay, so the prosecution of Karen Reed for the murder of her Boston cop boyfriend has galvanized a group of volunteers, most of whom have never even met her, to proclaim her innocence and raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for her legal defense. Supporters of the Free Karen Reed movement spend their free time attending Reed's ongoing trial, analyzing the smallest bits of evidence, and organizing events to raise money for her defense fund. I made great new friends. Liz Irk, a single mother from Massachusetts who runs a PR consulting firm and went into court on Friday, told the Daily Beast. It sounds so weird. This is a murder trial. So here we have Nick and Jen Rocco and Liz Irk. The genesis of the group dates to a snowy early morning in January of 2022 when John O'Keefe was found unresponsive on a colleague's front lawn after a boozy night with signs of hypothermia and a severe head injury. 3 days later, Reed was arrested for his murder, kickstarting a true crime saga riddled with conspiracy theories that have divided the small Massachusetts town of Canton. Since Reed's arrest, a disparate group has come together to lead the Free Karen Reed movement, which believes the 44-year-old former financial services professor and college lecturer is being framed for O'Keefe's death in an elaborate cover-up by prosecutors and local police. There have been protest marches, pink-themed merch, and even criminal charges against the blogger charged with harassing prosecution witnesses. The phenomenon of superfans of accused defendants is not new, but has been turbocharged over the years by the boom in true crime podcasts and live-streamed trials. The 9-person admin team of the largest Facebook group of pro-Reed supporters, called Justice for Officer John O'Keefe and Karen Reed / Turtle Boy Official, come from different backgrounds, professions, and zip codes. The only one knew Reed before she was arrested in February. And only one, knew Karen before she was arrested. The organizers told the Daily Beast that the Facebook group is a well-oiled machine to moderate 36,000 subscribers and raise money for Reed. And look, here we have her and her attorneys showing up for court. You know, everyone's wearing pink. I'm going to show you some videos. They're cheering with pom-poms and stuff like that. It's really, truly so interesting. Hey, Ava. Just can't get on board with this big cover-up. If she hit him at 12:45, then how did 6 to 7 people leave there between 1:30 and 2 and not see his body? I don't see how. I don't see how either. I do find that interesting. See, I don't think there's a big cover-up, but I can totally get on board with some family members looking out for each other and maybe a friend or two along the way. No supporter just followed blindly, though. It's just following the fact that leads people to know she is innocent. Toby Bird says, I believe she's not guilty, too. Pointer lover, I don't know if I got to say hi to you. I'm still waiting for the state to prove their case. They have the burden. I cannot wait either, Mia. It should be there soon, right? I don't know if you've been tracking it. I haven't, but I know I sent one other one that day to Woofy, and I think it was supposed to come like today. Hey, Nurse Kristen. It's far beyond him. It's far beyond Turtle Boy, and I'm going to show you that. You guys are, I don't know. I didn't know it. I guess some of you won't be surprised because you've been following along the whole time, but I was pretty surprised. So I've never been part of anything like this before, Irk said, but I just remember reading her story and thinking that could be me. Since then, I've been doing anything I can to help. So far, the group has raised over $300,000 for Reed's Defense Fund through popcorn funds, events, Venmo donations, and raffles. Last September, it spent $5,000 to erect a free Karen Reed billboard near Gillette Stadium ahead of the New England Patriots home opener. This month, the group is hosting a silent auction for a signed Celtics jersey and separate raffles Tuesday at a 3-bedroom Myrtle Beach condo for a week in August and a 2-week vacation in Italy. My goal is to raise as much money as possible, Nick Rocco, who owns a local Massachusetts hair salon and created the Facebook group, told the Daily Beast. People don't realize Karen is out of work. How is she supposed to pay for her mortgage? How does she pay her bills? How does she buy her toothpaste? We're here to help her. Dr. Molly Buchanan, an associate criminology professor at Northeastern University, said that pro-Reed followers are largely drawn to the puzzle of it all, trying to piece details together or trying to fill in the blank spaces when the puzzle pieces simply aren't fitting well or facts aren't adding up. Naturally, there is some level of fascination with often extreme or unbelievable case details, which draw and hold people's attention. Other people may see aspects of themselves in the defendant or victim, while others more naturally want to root for the underdog, whoever that might be in the trial. The support can also be seen outside of the court, where hundreds of supporters have shown up to most hearings in their free Karen Reed apparel and signs. That's the thing. Some of these videos I'm going to show you, some are recent, but some have been taken along the way at every hearing. It doesn't matter if it's raining or snowing, they stand out there all day. An administrator of the Facebook group told the Daily Beast. The courthouse parking lot is always packed. One group even has a small grill out there cooking hot dogs and hamburgers at lunchtime like a tailgate. The mood inside the courthouse is less jovial. Prosecutors allege that in the early hours of January 26, Reed drunkenly hit John with her SUV after dropping him off at an after party and left him for dead in a blizzard. When law enforcement officers responded to the scene, Reed ran around with blood on her face after trying to give O'Keefe CPR and screaming that the situation was all her fault, witnesses testified at trial. Defense attorneys and Reed supporters insist O'Keefe was fatally beaten after she dropped him off at at his fellow police officer's home and then attacked by a dog left outside. They argue that the case is rife with inconsistencies stemming from a bungled investigation that aimed to cover up for police. I mean, are people using their vacation time to go loiter in the parking lot of the courthouse? Oh, yes. I cannot wait to show you guys these videos. But I want to read through this first, and then we'll kind of make our way around all of social media so you guys can see all of that I've been gathering. So the Karen Read case lit a match and started a wildfire, and that fire spread quickly. Canton Reverend John Tamilio III told the Boston Globe in March, I don't know how much of that fuel existed before the death of John O'Keefe, but the Free Karen Read people do feel that there is corruption at every level in town. Now, corruption does exist. I think it exists anytime people are in power, right? Even if they're good people, when they go into that, to having that power, eventually money, is always at the root of all of that stuff. He said, Dr. Greg Barrick, a criminology and criminal justice professor, noted the movement is a rare type of support group. Usually, he said, support groups center around a victim or a wrongfully accused person instead of an accused perpetrator. Karen's phenomenon is still unique because she is so very charismatic, and her supporters are online and offline in the social and real worlds. In this day and age, of alienation and lack of community or feelings of belonging, communities pop up among strangers who get together to come to know each other as friends and have a purpose or cause in common. Let's see. So there's the billboard that the Facebook group got, Karen. I mean, wow. Is that not crazy? Massachusetts has a problem. John O'Keefe was part of the sexual crimes investigations. There was a big case right before his death that people should start covering. I was watching a Dateline episode, and it involved another Massachusetts town that was corrupt. Oh. Okay. Carney, who is also an admin of the Facebook page, has pleaded not guilty to charges that he allegedly harassed trial witnesses, including a Massachusetts State Police investigator, and obtained confidential information while covering the case. Defense attorneys, I don't think they spelled that right, but wait, let me see. Yeah, I don't know if they spelled it right, actually. They're talking about Turtle Boy. So the outrage and suspicion got so loud that Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey released a response video. The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Read is absolutely baseless. It should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence. The Facebook group is undeterred and continues to dissect every piece of evidence, witness testimony, and document that emerges. The administrators even have a loose schedule to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. Now, hold on a second. Let me grab something that I wanted to show. I grabbed a couple of days ago, or I screen recorded. This was at trial the other day. I screen recorded this from the trial, but this is common at every hearing, anything that involves Karen and anything that now involves that harassment case. So let's look at this. This was from 36 weeks ago. Karen Reed protest at court. Supporters of Karen Reed rallied outside the court Friday morning and packed the courtroom for the latest hearing in her murder case. Hello. Did you see the truck? They had a truck that had like an electric sign that said how long to die in the cold and like a Google bar as if it was a Google search. That's them cheering for Karen and her team as they walk in. You see down here. Is that not unbelievable? If you guys are like, wow, what the F, just wait. Just wait. I'm gonna pause it in a minute. No, not that. Cover up, never again. Justice for John O'Keefe and Karen. There we go. Look at the truck. It changed. It's like an electric. It did have a heart that said justice for John O'Keefe. And now it says, Google, how long to die in cold? How did they find an unbiased jury? Hey, Trio Girl Mom. Love you back. And I hope you're doing awesome. Hey, Night Stalker. This is unreal. This is a serious trial for her. Wowza, wow, wow, wow. But here's the thing, though. When someone says that, or occasionally Good Tara says that's so awesome to see all the support. In the courtroom, it's not like that. It's very serious. This is outside. The local Canton people know how corrupt their police are. That's just way too much. That's definitely support. 18 days of trial, and the prosecutor hasn't put out any evidence at this point. It's shameful. Okay, now, I just want to take you for a second before we get into, and this is going to be controversial. I'm going to show it because it's not really the child's face, and it's the mom putting it, this is what we're talking about, and it's their account. But first, I want to show you this. So this is @KReedIsInnocent on Twitter, and they write, still not over this blue, with the hard eyes and the fire, her fashion choices, and she's a beautiful woman. That has been a huge topic as well. Look, I'm obsessed with all of her outfits. Wow, what kind of bag does the female, people are very interested in what she's wearing. I also saw an account that found this outfit on Amazon and all that stuff. Amber says, I definitely support Karen personally. I wish I had a true crime friend here. The courthouse is like an hour and a half for me. That would be awesome. I would go. So I support the truth. And just like you guys know, Jen and I have been watching as jurors and talking about what's been happening. And so far, to me, I couldn't vote her guilty. However, I wouldn't consider myself a supporter of anyone except for, I guess, John, because I want justice for him. And no matter what the truth is, I want it to be proven. The way that I see it right now, it's going to be really difficult to prove it. Just based on the evidence that they've presented so far. The judge placed an order, no more signs, or free Karen Read, and placed a buffer zone 20 yards from the court. I feel bad for John's family. They have to walk by this daily. Well, I'm going to show you a video of them walking by as well. So here's the article actually about here's something about what you're talking about, Grandma Cece, the buffer zone. We'll watch this first before we actually go into the other videos I wanted to show you. But again, her outfits, which if they have it correct, which the people that were like finding the outfits on Amazon and posting them, they're very expensive. I also found a student, I'm going to show you that, of Karen's, who was speaking out about her thoughts on it. The shaming of Jay's wife does trial fashion commentary on X. She's done it for several trials, not just Karen's, but I do find it interesting. So who is that? Is that somebody? That's not who I'm showing, right? Because this one is Karen Read is innocent. I find it interesting. I love fashion, so I'd be interested in it at any trials. I've never seen it like this before, though, with any other ones. I guess with Amber and Johnny, maybe, or like celebrities, but not just like your average person. Okay. Hey, Tony. So that is so interesting. And you should totally send me that account, Shannon something. Okay. Okay. So let's go to here for a second. I'm just going to play this video.
Supporters of Karen Read were cheering as she and her defense team arrived for day one of the trial. Jury selection long before she arrived.
This is the foundation of our First Amendment rights.
Dozens of her supporters with signs were already demonstrating further down High Street in Dedham, away from the 200-foot buffer zone around Norfolk Superior Court imposed by the judge presiding over the case. Did you take time off work today to be here?
Yes.
Just, I want to, show Karen, some support. Ladies getting framed and railroaded for something that she obviously didn't do.
Karen Read of Mansfield is charged with second-degree murder for the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, outside a Canton home in January 2022. Why are you so passionate about this case?
I'm passionate about this case because we're all Karen Read. This could happen to any of us.
The district attorney accuses Karen Read of hitting John O'Keefe with her SUV. Read has pleaded not guilty. And as jury selection gets underway, her supporters in this high-profile, controversial case are already rendering their own verdict.
What this is really about is John O'Keefe and justice for John O'Keefe and finding the real killers. Karen Read is innocent.
We don't want people to think that you have a white female that we're focusing on her only. No, this is about corruption in Massachusetts.
Karen
not really sure why she said it like that.
Say they will be here throughout her trial. Reporting in Dedham, Todd Kiskiewicz, WCVB News Center.
Okay, let me just take a second. Hold on. Okay, I just want to take a second and drop some links because Bendy and I have been talking about the trial together. I know Dietz has done a ton on it. I'm going to drop Jones in. And Amber has been talking about it some. I'm just going to drop Melissa because I want to. She's not covering the case. And then Nay. But okay, so now I want you guys to prepare because this is a lot. Let me see. So I think I'll just show it, I guess. This is because it's an account on TikTok where a mom and her daughter have been out there showing up for Karen every day. She's a little girl, but it doesn't do, there's not a whole lot of her face, but it's just part of the topic. This is what it is. This is this, I don't like, fan club is such a small way of thinking about it, because it's more than that, right? I know some people truly believe that they're only there because they believe that she's innocent and they are against police corruption, right? Some people might jump onto this that have nothing to, don't even care about Karen Read, but they are passionate about corruption. But there is this sort of like fan club happening surrounding her, and it's very interesting. Now, okay, so after a long day we all have waited for, come on. Uh-oh, I'm freezing. Hold on, you guys. Okay, I got it back. I'm not going to play the audio just for the first couple because they have music with them anyways. Well, I think the first one doesn't, but the ones after that do. So, okay. Actually, it does have music. So, let's go to the next one. Wait, did I do it twice? Karen Read trial. You can't hear what they're saying. Well, yeah, you can in this one. He just says, how old are you and what's your name? I wouldn't want to put that out there anyways, but most of them are just music playing in behind it. The most beautiful defendant, Karen Read, is innocent. Okay. Prosecutors would normally never take this case. I live in this county in Massachusetts. I thought she was guilty, but not anymore. There's zero evidence to convict. It's wild. That's what they said, cray cray. Hey, Tess. I believe Karen, but I feel horrible for John's parents. They believe she killed their son. Seeing this must be awful for them. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking watching his brother too, because in court, when certain points are made, you can't help but look for people's body language and how they're shifting or what their face says to you or whatever, that kind of thing. Oh, Sherry, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Mayla's mom says, this is just too weird for me. Shannon says, we love Turtle Boy. He is the one that brought light to this whole ordeal of a case. Hey, Forgets and Shiggles. Hold on, you guys. Well, I'm going to keep playing it, actually.
For months, supporters of 44-year-old Karen Read have rallied outside the Dedham, Massachusetts courthouse. The public fascination with the case has exploded ahead of Read's trial, where she faces a second-degree murder charge for the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer.
And this is from CBS Mornings. They just posted it on TikTok. But
John O'Keefe. His body was found outside of another Boston police officer's home in Canton, where he was supposed to attend an after party with other members of local and federal law enforcement agencies. Read had dropped him off around midnight after a night of heavy drinking at local bars. But prosecutors say O'Keefe never made it inside.
Okay, let me just take a second. Amber says a lot of people have been talking about John's brother. I think that's so wrong. He lost a family member and he's trying to understand what he's hearing. I don't think that we should be attacking family members of any victims. What is wrong? I was just talking about this early this morning with a couple people on Facebook. This is just, I don't know. I don't understand. It's really sad to see some of it sometimes. Sometimes it makes you not even want to get online. I know several people who don't want to because of that. Why are we attacking the family members of victims? Like you said, for John's brother. He's trying to understand what he's hearing. He was a friend of both of them. We heard him testify. No matter what he thinks or what evidence he believes or which side, whether he thinks the prosecution is telling the truth of the way things happen or the defense, who cares? He's trying to go through the grieving process and figure things out. It's none of our business. I don't understand that. I just do not understand it. Hey, Debbie Doodles. Turtle Boy has some really good videos regarding this. So I've stayed away from it all because we're supposed to be like the jury. So I haven't been watching any of that, but I definitely want to dig into it more after.
They claim the couple had been arguing and that Reed hit him with her SUV before she drove home, leaving him outside in a snowstorm. Reed's defense team says O'Keefe.
Okay, let's take a second and look at the comments. Bruh, she's so clearly being framed. It's unbelievable. Someone says, at this point, is there any way to believe police departments? Haley says, so she hit him with her car, but only his head. Like what? Kayla, there's reasonable doubt for sure. This is just interesting because it gives us I'm wondering what the jury's thinking. Houdini says, question, was there any internal affairs investigations going on? It's reasonable doubt. Someone says, this is ridiculous. I hope she gets cleared. Nicole, I remember when this happened and I never thought she did it. Ozzy said, the fact she's tied to Turtle Boy makes me suspicious of her. An autopsy should easily be able to distinguish beating or being hit by a car. Connor says, insane they think it was her. Love Nene, I remember this. I always thought they were framing her. Mr. F says, the comment sections are proof you can't just trust a jury. Idiots. All right, let me check on you guys. I don't know. I just think it's interesting how so many people already have their minds made up one way or the other, for one. And yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is kind of interesting. Hey, Amber. The family's lost two people they cared about, even if she is innocent, in my opinion. It's true. Teacup says, Turtle Boy annoys me. His attitude ticks me off. Amber Proctor, the head investigator, is currently under internal affairs investigation and is not being called by the state, but he is by the defense. So I know that there's also like a FBI investigation taking place, right? He confronts Jen McCabe and the Alberts at different places. He even calls them and sometimes they answer. It's crazy but entertaining. Angie, I'm going to show a few clips of that actually. It's in our lineup of videos to go through. And that's kind of why that was in the title. Like I said, if you missed at the beginning, that harassment case and some of that we might dig into later, but really it's just part of this bigger conversation about the support surrounding Karen. And I mean, her defense team is not cheap. They are very, very skilled attorneys, and pretty much that Facebook group is paying for it. Mayla's mom says, I think he was throwing up and her car hit him right in the face. Teacup, I don't believe they were until after. I think it's just because of the support or calling out the corruption. Now, I do think that there's contact between him and her attorneys, if I understand correctly, but I don't know for sure. Hey, Johnny. What about that 911 call that it was said we turned him over, but no one has mentioned that in testimonies? I don't know that I heard that. I know I heard one of the calls, either the 911 call or like something that was played in the trial, but hello, Melissa Jade. Karen didn't know him before. Okay. The one DA lost his license for not paying child support. Well, I noticed there's also a lot of, there's a lot that could be looked into with some of the people who are alternate theories that are part of these the defense's alternate theory. It seems like when there's this much smoke, there must be some sort of fire happening somewhere, right? Also, I saw on accident some connections between even the judge and the Alberts and things like that, but we will look at that at a later date. Yes, there is also an FBI investigation as well. They're investigating how the investigation went. When Lally asked for documents from them, the FBI replied saying they don't agree with what the state believes happened. Deets played it last night. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was there, but I fell asleep. That's what I was telling her this morning. I was so exhausted. I'm just, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm ready for summertime. I'm tired of waking up so early. No, I don't think they called him. I think that, like, they were sharing information. I don't remember exactly what I heard. I'll have to do some double checking. I'll let you know. Okay, we're gonna skip to the next one though.
Butt dial.
Some of these are not necessarily about the support for her, but I just like this one. I had to include it because listen to this.
Butt dial.
Like a butt dial.
Butt dial.
I believe I used the word butt dial.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
Kind of like a butt dial. People commonly used as a butt dial.
Butt dial.
Like a butt dial.
One more time.
I believe I used the word butt dial.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
Kind of like a butt dial. People commonly used as a butt dial.
Lots of butt dialing going on. Lots of it. That's one thing. Like the people that do think she's guilty, what do you think about these butt dials? What do you think about this group text? For me, that changed everything. I'm really leaning on this. Like now, her comments, even her comments on when she spoke out, because I saw a TikTok that had her voice. I saved it. I think I'm going to show it to you. It's in this lineup that we have to look at. Some of them interest me because not everything necessarily lines up to me. Like, why are you questioning, did I hit him? Because there's at one point where she's like, yeah, the comments I hit him it started with, did I? And I don't know. I think I'm going to play it. So I'm not going to even try to quote her because I'll get it wrong. But regardless, she's like, that's not what I said. I was saying, did I hit him? What if I hit him? Why would you even think that? You know, that is weird to me. And there are just some things that don't necessarily line up. But that group text, tell him the guy didn't even come inside. Tell him the guy didn't even come inside. I thought this was a friend, someone that you guys loved, that your wife claims that she loved. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I'm just all over the place. Sounds very rehearsed. Yeah, that was funny. These people have wicked smart butts. There's a video where Chris Albert is in one of his council meetings and Chris mentions something and one of the council members says, house long, Chris, and Chris completely ignores him. The Buns of Steel Town. Yeah, what do you guys think about the groups? Melissa says, I can actually rationalize that it may have been said out of shock and confusion. It's weird, but I can see possibly questioning every angle from not understanding what happened. I can see your point there, and fair enough. That's the only thing that makes sense for that, because it's like, why would you even question that? But I guess if you were just, especially if you had been drinking and you were just so like, I don't know, man. Wicked smart butts. I can't even do that. I cannot do that accent, but Teacup cracks me up. Someone should do a clip of all the terms they have used. Butt dial. I wish I had the looking out the window. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So this is where like I said, you'll see the family members' reaction and them walking through some of the protesting and stuff. Crime Junkie 989 on TikTok has tons of stuff, but listen to the clip.
And Jackie, disgraceful. We're getting justice for John O'Keefe. We're here for justice for John O'Keefe County. We want justice for John. Shame on you! Shame on you!
Wow, you guys, I just cannot get over that.
There's Carol the Cut, Kathy Carl, and Jackie. Disgraceful. We're getting justice for John O'Keefe. John O'Keefe County. We want justice for John. Shame on you! Shame on you!
Wow, you guys, can you imagine being there, like what the energy must feel like? Let's look at a couple of the comments. I love to do that with you guys. I don't think that was at Turtle Boy, Jimmy says. Let's see. It's easier and hurts less for Paul to believe she did this than the officers. I don't really want to talk about the family. I think that's not, I just don't want to. Keep these piglets under the microscope. Let's see. The truth hurts. Bunch of douchebags can't wait for their asses to be handed to them. All right, we're going to just continue. Let's keep going.
If there's no sign of an altercation or fight,
Oh,
how can you turn around and say that a cocktail glass?
I saved this because I had not heard this in trial, and I just saved a couple videos that weren't necessarily about the supporters. So this was from a hearing back in August of 2023. And he mentions deep bruising on the back of John's hands. Well, we haven't had an ME testify yet, so I'm going to be very interested to see. And like I said, I'm only going to consider what we hear at trial into how I would vote if I was on the jury. However, just watch this and then we'll talk. Because the injuries, the bruising on the back of the hands, I find that really interesting, especially for if you're protecting yourself from whatever.
If there's no sign of an altercation or fight, how can you turn around and say that a cocktail glass did this? They can't talk out of both sides of their mouth. How could they reasonably ignore two black eyes, a laceration over his right eye, a laceration at his nose? He looked like he had gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, as my colleague has once analogized. Of course there's evidence that he was in a fight. The back of his hands, deeply bruised. Those are called defensive wounds. I don't care what their medical examiner called it. Anybody who's seen any sort of a fight, a street fight, knows that the back of the hands, the back of the arms get the brunt of the punches as you cover your face. Of course there were signs of a fight. Not just a fight, a brutal fight.
Okay, so
There's no sign of an altercation or fight.
I'm going to let that play again, but I want to say a couple things. First of all this has done is made me more interested to see all the hearings that took place up until trial, because I think a lot of people that have their minds made up already have been following through all of that. However, the jury shouldn't be. Of course, they might see something here or there. They're not to consider, but, following it closely like that. Now, I want to read Lisa's comment. She says, I don't think she's guilty, and I understand groups forming to rally behind her, but I find the tailgating vibes outside the courthouse a little disrespectful. It looks like a damn parade out there. Well, like the video I screen recorded that I showed you, they had pom-poms and everything. He is an awesome lawyer. I agree. He truly is. Technically, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins bed dialed each other. Yeah. Another thing to consider, because when looking for these videos on TikTok, I found someone who was like, everyone upgrades their phones. They waited and upgraded it 8 months later, blah, blah, blah. Well, for one, Brian Albert I think it was Brian Albert that upgraded the day before he was given the motion before the motion was served to preserve evidence. Hold on one second, you guys. Sorry, I had to mute because there were little people around. And all the butt dials happened all around the same time. And what about the phone calls from Jen McCabe to John's phone over and over around that time? That's weird to me too. You know, didn't she also delete those? They have the right to protest peacefully. Yes, they do, Amber. But I think they're kind of referencing at the beginning before you got here, I was showing they were talking about they were making hot dogs and all kinds of stuff. There were cheerleaders, like pom-poms. It was a little, it wasn't necessarily just protesting. They were tailgating. Okay, let's keep going.
How did court go the other day?
Okay, so this is, remember I told you, we were going to talk a little bit about journalists confronting some of these witnesses. This is where Jen was confronted at a school event. So we're going to watch this. It's like a minute long. She deleted them and said they were butt dials. Thought she deleted them. Yeah, and she said she didn't remember. And yeah, and they make the point about the voicemail and having to, you know, pick up your phone, do something for it to be able to continuously happen like that. There has to be contact with the phone. I agree, but at the end of the day, someone still lost their life, and I think dressing up in costumes and grilling burgers isn't really protesting. Amber says, I agree. Mr. Tomato Head, good to see you. Seems to me like everybody's just sticking to what they thought before the trial. That's what's like so wild about it is the trial is where evidence is supposed to be presented. I can't say that the state has even, or the Commonwealth, I think they say rather, has not even presented enough evidence, really any evidence yet. I mean, every witness, her attorneys are very good attorneys, but then again, they have a lot to work with. We're talking about tons of butt dials, deleted calls, shady group text. So, I mean, I don't know. It's unfortunate, though, that there isn't more evidence being presented that could change people's opinions instead of them just keeping the same opinions that they already had. She is on Facebook, Amber, and if you want me to, if it's okay with you, can I send her your account? She had asked me anyways to do that, but I hadn't talked to you about it yet. Darlene says, exactly, we must use the evidence to decide the case. Oh, Amber, I lost your number, by the way, because I got a new phone, because that was another thing I had told Angie. I don't even have it anymore, but I had you on Facebook. But okay, let's watch this. This is Jen being confronted at a school event at the ball field.
How did court go the other day?
Went great.
Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
I do, so I'm trying to watch.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, so Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Did you?
Text me, though, Amber.
Do you think that's funny? Do you think that's funny? How long to die in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that, the ring face. Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your...
Okay, just a second. While this is playing, how do you guys feel about this? Is this harassment? Is this journalism? Is this just asking questions? I'm really curious how you feel. I don't necessarily have my mind made up one way or another because I haven't seen a lot of it. This is my first little taste of it since trying to like look into her supporters and who's funding the defense and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's a public event. You can show up at a public event and talk to people, right? But I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Let's keep watching.
Family when you go to jail.
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you shaking?
Again. Touch me again.
So Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize to your children. Are you worried at all about that? Huh? What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
Oh, what are we doing here?
I was sure you were.
Jen, did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Yes or no? Did you? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Do you have any answer for that?
Is that the perfect that was just...
Do you have any answer for that? Miss McCabe, do you have any answer for that? Why should I leave, sir? I just have some questions. How did court go the other day?
Went great.
Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
I do, so I'm trying to watch.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want.
Okay.
So anyway, so Jen,
I'll
I have a
watch it a
question.
second time, but first I want to read your comments about it. I'm just going to rewind a little bit. Debbie says there are kids everywhere. Nurse Kristen, let her enjoy her kids. Tess, it's the same thing all of those new audit channels are doing to law enforcement, to Scientology. It's kind of the new way to get attention. However, is it the cause for clicks? That's the real question. Roro says that's a little much. Anna Melody's 100% harassment. Tony, I don't think he should be doing that, in my opinion. When you are out with your family, I have an issue with it. This is really crossing a line. Okay, so is it appropriate to come up to her in public and ask if she wants to talk? If she says no, then you leave her alone. Like, where is that line? If you are a citizen journalist, you do have to kind of find people to be able to talk to him, right? Lisa says harassment. K-Braze, if you don't have kids there, I don't think you should be. Let me see. Okay. Forget says, oh, something else. Just because it's a public event does not mean you can do whatever you want. It's very audited behavior. I don't like her, but this is not cool. Katie says, this is what I say. Her behavior is weird, like saying I hit him, etc. However, everyone else involved seems so sus. I could not convict at this point. No way. That's where I'm at. Like, her behavior is weird, but so is everybody else's. This is disgusting based on where he did it. Harassment, in my opinion. I think it's like a high school event or a college event. I'm not sure. But it's still her kids, you know? I think what's being done to Karen is harassment. PB&J says, I love like the different opinions. I love you guys feeling comfortable enough to share it. I don't care how you feel. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm curious myself. I think it's okay to ask if you can have questions, but if they say no, then respect it. Even if she is a liar, she is not allowed to talk about the case. They may bring her back again to count for something, and especially around the kids. So this was back in June of last year. Mr. Tomato Head, disgusting. It's not our job to punish. That's our legal system's job. Well, I mean, he has charges. Yeah. Grandma Cece says he did have charges put against him, but were dropped. He has another case where that kind of confused me. I'm sorry. Let's see. That's a family event, even though it's in public. Absolutely harassment and disgusting behavior. If anyone did that, Karen Reed, God forbid. Debbie Doodles, if Karen Reed was unattractive or a woman of color, would Turtle Boy have even showed up in this case at all? So I don't know enough about him to answer that. I'm curious, though, would she have all the support she has if she was unattractive or a woman of color? That's a good question. I want to dig into the Turtle Boy aspect of this. I don't know anything about it yet, though, so I'm going to reserve my opinions because what I've seen is only what I'm showing you today. Like when looking for stuff, people that were her supporters, I ran across a couple things. She has been, let me see. She said this has been going on for 2 years. That's tough. That's why she came to the stand with a beach face. No means no, period. PBJ, to be honest, I've lost faith in our legal system, and my dad is in the law field. Who are you talking about, Tess? The people that are out protesting or here? Here, let's watch it one more time.
How did court go the other day?
Great.
Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
I do, so I'm trying to watch.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Did you?
Oh, I think Grace.
Do you think that's funny?
Grace.
Do you think that's funny? How long to die in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that, the ring face. Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you shaking?
Again. Touch me again.
So, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize. To your children. Are you worried at all about that?
Huh?
What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
Oh, what are we doing?
I know, so sure you were.
Jen, did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Yes or no? Did you? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Do you have any answer for that?
Is that the perfect? It was just.
Yeah, I don't think it's appropriate to keep asking over and over. I wouldn't do it. But That's just me. Okay. So I don't know who that was, Darlene. I have no idea. But let's get, oh, and Tess, to answer your question. So he's recording, the guy asking the questions here, but like the protesters, some of the videos I showed you guys were taken by the news. Some were taken by the protesters. Some were taken by, you know, other YouTubers that were there. It just depends. Amber says kind of harassing. Tony says he probably followed her there. Queen Bella says you don't go to kids' activities. Angie, I think that is crossing the line. And does it take it, for me, it kind of takes it to another level when, okay, if you show up at an event, which I don't think it should be a kids' event, but regardless of my opinion on that, let's say you show up at an event. Is there a difference in questioning somebody, asking them questions versus questioning them with a cell phone in their face? That is Jen's husband, Matt. That's him? That's the same guy that testified? Wow, that up-close picture does not look anything like him.
Answer for that?
Or anything like him on the stand.
What?
I don't know if I can get it. That's the only place I've seen him. Which there are so many clips of him in that comment about, which it hit my ears wrong when I heard it, watching the trial. Tell them the guy never came in the house. It's like the guy, it felt so, I don't know. I don't know. It felt weird. I couldn't get back to it, but all right, let's keep going. Okay, hold on. Now this is, I left a comment on her video because she's asking, she wants to talk about her experience having Karen as a teacher. So I'm going to let it play. We'll just hear it, but let me show you what she says here. Robbie says, randomly scrolled on this, but did you love her as a teacher? Like, how was she? Need a follow-up. The whole case is sketch. I've not seen a ton of evidence at this point. She says she was so cool and literally was such an engaging lecture. I loved her so much and was so selfishly upset when they had to change teachers. She also has such good reviews from past years. Now she's became a free Karen Reed supporter, a supporter of this movement. And here, I'm going to just let you hear what she says.
Karen Reed, first of all. Now, if you don't know who Karen Reed is, free Karen Reed, first of all. Now, if you don't know who Karen Reed is, turn on your television. She's literally all over the news right now, as she should be, because 2 years ago, she was teaching a class by night at Bentley University, working at Fidelity by day as a finance queen, normal freaking life. She graduated from Bentley University, Waltham, Massachusetts, business school. And then 2 nights later, after she taught the class, she murdered her boyfriend, who's a Boston cop. So she's on trial for that murder now. But here's the thing. I don't think she actually murdered him. No one really thinks she actually murdered him, or a lot of people actually don't. There's a whole conspiracy that she was framed for it, and this other Boston cop and his wife or whatever like killed him and like framed Karen. Whatever. All I'm saying is that I graduated from Bentley last year. I was in Karen Reed's class 2 years ago. It was our first class of the semester. Night class. I have the whole thing on recording. 1 or 2 days later, she so-called killed her boyfriend. I have a whole recording, 90 minutes of her last normal day alive. And I have opinions of her. I have classmates, best friends that also were in the class that have opinions of her. And I just need to know who I can reach out to be interviewed. Or even I will be a witness on the stand.
I'll be a witness on the stand. I'm sorry, that cracked me up when she said that. Like,
intel. Okay. And let me tell you, she didn't do it. But I just don't know how to get interviewed. So hopefully this TikTok.
If I was to ever, I would need to hear that last lecture. But I think that would be interesting. All right, but let's continue. I don't know what else I grabbed. I grabbed just a bunch of random stuff. And okay, so this was from a trial before, or a hearing before, I'm sorry. And I want to play this, but also I want to read the comments. So first we'll just play it so you know what I'm reading the comments from.
Not only does the Celebrite report confirm the search and the time of that search, not only do our experts confirm the search and the
Why is this one so freaking quiet?
but now, in other words, the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation also specifically confirms that that search was made on Jennifer McCabe's phone.
Why is that so quiet? I'm gonna have to pull it up on my TikTok because I want you guys to hear this if you haven't. And then
Follow. Not only does the Celebrite report confirm the search and the time of that search, not only do our experts confirm the search and the time of that search, but now a Quantico-trained special agent with the FBI's Regional Computer Forensic Lab. In other words, the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation also specifically confirms that that search was made on Jennifer McCabe's phone, and it was made on or before 2:27 and 40 seconds a.m. on January 29th, 2022. That fact.
we need to hear from the experts. I am really looking forward to that. Okay, so someone says arrest Jen McCabe in all caps. Abby says put her up there, sworn under oath to tell the truth. Why the search at that time? See if she lies. Sevenetta, they have all lied already. Being on the stand is not going to wise them up. Mary says she did indeed lie. Jess says people lie under oath all the time. Matthew says cops especially. Him. Because there's at one point where whoa, started playing my video on my phone. Bethany says, I don't remember. I don't know. That's all they say. Frankie says the corruption is historical. Stacy, thank goodness they had that evidence. Angela, I don't understand how this case hasn't been dismissed. Almighty Edub, justice for Karen and John. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. Some of these I grabbed. Okay, this just was just because I didn't want to lose it, and I think that it's interesting to see. Hey, Nicole N. Her attorneys are really good. They are. This is more of, we're going to have to wait for the experts. FLA says, and the people who believe she is innocent just can't believe the facts and her changing story. Being drunk, not remembering, but yet remembering. FBI has said John was not hit by a car. The damage to Karen's car is inconsistent with the injuries. That's just a comment. Wait, you forgot to throw him 10 to 11 feet off road, which that was testified to in court as being 20 different answers. Okay.
Ryan Albert, Nicole Albert, Brian Albert Jr.
This out really only grabbed for the beginning because it's
Ryan Albert, Nicole Albert, Brian Albert Jr., Colin Albert, Caitlin Albert, Jennifer and Matthew McCabe, friends of Albert Jr. Named Julie Nagel, Emily Fabiano, and Sarah Levinson, and an ATF agent named
Brian Higgins. Brian Higgins in the bar. And didn't notice all of his tattoos when he was on the stand. Not that it matters. I'm tattooed all the hell. And I would never kill somebody, but still. Yes, that's what they were saying, PB&J, that Jen was saying she couldn't remember, or that, a lot of them were. Prosecutors often like to hold their most damning evidence until the end, so it's the last thing on the jury's mind. Okay, hold on a second. Now, I don't really need to play the rest of this. I just wanted to show the beginning. One more that shows some pictures. Okay, this is the one that had her voice. She doesn't sound like I pictured. I don't know why, but, and I'm not going to watch these interviews until after the trial, but look.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone. I said, I hit him it was preceded by a did and proceeded by
That's
a
what I was
question mark.
talking about.
What I thought could have happened was that did I incapacitate him unwittingly somehow, and then in his drunkenness passed out?
Did you say, I wonder if I hit him? Did I kill him?
I said, could I have hit him?
The Massachusetts State Police concluded.
What do you guys think about that? I'm going to play it just one more time. I can't wait to watch these interviews. Then I guess she was on Nightline, and
I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone. I said, I hit him. It was preceded by a did and proceeded by a question mark. What I thought could have happened was that did I incapacitate him unwittingly somehow, and then in his drunkenness passed out?
Did you say, I wonder if I hit him? Did I kill him?
I said, could I have hit
him?
The Massachusetts.
Oh, that's not it. I just like this video because I just like the video. That was all. They're all alcoholics who drink and drive, lie, and cheat. I don't believe any of them, honestly, Natasha says. I don't know. It is pretty fascinating to think of, you know, these armies that have kind of surrounded Karen, this little army. Honestly, it makes me a little bit sad we don't see the same for John, you know, but I think that a lot of the people who are free Karen Reed are in support of John too, Adrian, which I can say because that sounds just like Dolly Parton. Oh, that is an accent. I want to show y'all this video, but I won't. I won't. I'll just not. Okay. I think that had one more thing, but I need to find it. Let me see here. I don't think I played this. I would probably question myself under those circumstances, but doesn't mean she actually did hit him. Hey, MK.
Karen Reed, the woman accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, returned to court today. And as always, a huge crowd was there to cheer her on. WBC's Anna Myler joins us live in Dedham. And Anna, once again, she arrived to these supporters outside of the courtroom.
Courtney, dozens and dozens of supporters of Karen Reed filled the steps here outside the courthouse and the sidewalk, holding signs and chanting in support of her. They waited out here for hours for her court hearing to end so they could cheer her on as she exited the courthouse. Karen Reed did not say anything as she left, but she did appear emotional as the crowd cheered for her, hoisting signs that say she's been framed. Reed is facing charges in connection with the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Prosecutors say that she hit and killed him with her car while making a three-point turn after dropping him off at a party in Canton in January 2022. His body was found in a snowbank outside of the house, which belongs to fellow police officer Brian Albert. In court today, the defense accused the Commonwealth of withholding critical evidence in the case and also requested that Reed's $80,000 in bail money be returned to her so that she can pay experts and legal fees to defend herself. Her attorneys say that her finances are being drained, but also say the circumstances surrounding this case have changed since she was first arraigned. The defense.
Toby says, I also heard the FBI said his injuries are inconsistent with being hit by a car. I have seen that too, but I will be interested to see that in black and white or from someone testifying. If they call someone from the FBI to the stand, which a lot of times we will see that happen if they're involved in the investigation. Now, if they're doing a separate investigation, I don't really know. You heard me singing, Claus. That song will be stuck in my
head. Says that Reed did not hit O'Keefe, but that he was actually beaten inside of the home and that his body was later dumped outside.
This team will not quit.
the good people of this county
Look at this, you guys.
will not quit. And I can guarantee you, Karen Reed and her family will never, ever quit. Never. Not until the truth comes out. Not until the John O'Keefe's killers are brought to justice.
And the Commonwealth argues that the facts and
The cheering and stuff, it's just freaking fascinating to me, you guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who are watching other trials and not as much interested in this. And I wasn't either for the longest time, but now I've fallen down the rabbit hole. I need to explore everything. I need to see everything. I'm trying really hard to wait until trial. By the way, Chad Daybell was found guilty on all counts. That's exciting. We're still waiting for those damn calls. I know they're going to come while I'm at the beach. That's what happened last time. But even if they do, that's okay. We're still going to do them. So I'm really excited. I actually have some stuff planned. I was going to talk to Jen about it because I didn't know if I should do a video or a live stream. I might do a live. I know we have to do part 2 of those calls. But if you look here, I was saving these articles. This was from around the time that she changed her plea. So remember, it was February 2022. Those are the calls we ordered. So I didn't know if maybe I should we're going to have to somehow fast forward in the timeline from where we're at in the calls, which is May 2021 or June. Actually, I'm sorry. We just started June, and fast forward to February of 2022. So I'll maybe do something to kind of get us there. I just don't want to do it too far before the calls come. We talked to her 2 weeks ago and she said they were next on the list. We still haven't got them. So it's frustrating. Oh, sorry for showing that. Let me go back. Anyways, that's what happened to me, Allie. I tripped and fell down the rabbit hole. Same. Well, at least we're down there together. I hope you will follow the case I sent you. If he doesn't plea, I think it'll be interesting. You know what? Let's look at it together since we're here now. I mean, I might do a video on it alone, but that was very interesting. Yay, Amber, I see your message. Okay. I want to show you guys this, though. Mayla's mom sent me this earlier. I don't know. I'm honestly really at a point where I'm pretty sad. About I don't know, if you want to cover unknown cases, it's so hard to get people truly interested. People are so interested in the drama surrounding these big cases. And I don't know, it leaves me wondering how I'm going to adjust and do, because I'm not going to do that. That's for sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but okay. Misty. Had surgery last week that caused pancreatitis. Oh, I'm so sorry, Misty. PB&J, the locals know what's going on there. The autopsy photos speak for themselves. He was beaten, in my opinion. I want to hear from the ME. Okay, so before we go, I just want to read you this article from Law and Crime from Mayla's mom. But this is, I hadn't heard of this case. Exit out of all this other stuff. Man dismembered pregnant sister because she was no longer innocent and left body parts on neighbors' steps. This is freaking sad because mom was a huge part of discovering what happened. So a 23-year-old man in Minnesota is accused of killing his pregnant 30-year-old sister last week and then dismembering her body, placing pieces of her remains in several different locations because her pregnancy meant she was no longer innocent. Jack Joseph Ball of Minnesota was taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of second-degree intentional but not premeditated murder in the horrific slayings of Bethany Ann Israel and her unborn child. According to a criminal complaint, the siblings' mother at 11 p.m. on Thursday, the 23rd, called 911 and told the dispatcher she believed her daughter was deceased inside of a residence. Upon arriving at the scene, the mother told first responders that her daughter went to her brother's home around 6, for dinner, but stopped responding to family members' attempts to reach her. So mom goes to her son's home to check on her daughter, but when she arrived, she told police her son, quote, just tore out of the house, unquote. When she entered his home, the mother said she found a substantial amount of blood. Officers entered the residence and observed a large pool of blood on the kitchen floor, under the sink, and on the sink cabinets. Police wrote in the affidavit. Additionally, they observed a bloody saw, hatchet, and large bloody knives. As they continued moving through the house, they saw a knife on the living room floor near the staircase that led to the second level. In continuing their search, they located several dismembered body parts believed to be those of Israel. While searching for Ball, officers with the police received a call from a resident who said a male was observed on their front door ring camera placing what appeared to be a body part on the front step. Imagine that. Imagine you look out and you just see your neighbor putting a body part on your steps. Upon arriving at the second residence, police said they recovered a dismembered body part, which they believe came from Israel. Ball was located in the backyard of a residence a few doors down from where the body part was recovered. The defendant was located near a shed in the backyard of the residence at which his car was parked. He was covered in blood on his head, shirt, arms, legs, and pants, and he had also what appeared to be a self-inflicted knife wound across his throat. Upon searching the area, police found several dismembered body parts they believed to be his sister's. He was transported to the hospital for treatment. Authorities investigating the scene found several journals in his handwriting in which he said he was angry at his sister because she was pregnant and no longer innocent. The DA spoke out and said the allegations are deeply disturbing and horrific. Her brother appeared in front of the judge from his hospital room and had a bond set at $1 million with conditions, $2 million without. He has court on June 10th. A GoFundMe has been found. Let me go look at that because I didn't look at it earlier. In loving memory of Bethany Israel. I mean, what the F, man? Wow, Tess. It is horrible. It's just disgusting. Punksy. That would be forever traumatizing. What has our society become? So many horrific cases. I know. It's awful. So it is with profound sorrow that we announce the untimely departure of Bethany Israel, who left us Thursday, May 23rd. She was not only a cherished wife, daughter, sister, and expectant mother, but a beloved figure in the volleyball community. Her spirit and unwavering kindness touched the lives of all who had the privilege of knowing her. Her love for life, her family, and the friendships she nurtured are the legacy she leaves behind. As a beacon of warmth and generosity, Bethany's absence leaves a void that cannot be filled. In the wake of this immense loss, we are reminded of the financial hardships that often accompany such profound grief. That's really it. They have raised $36,000. That's incredible. I'm going to share the link in the chat. They've went far beyond their goal, but still, in case you guys wanted to help or leave a comment or anything like that. Oh, Darlene, thank you for joining. I appreciate that so much. And I guess I'm going to let you guys go. Before I leave for the beach, I'm going to make another video for Jen and I of jail calls, just so that we have it, because I don't know how good the internet will be there. And all we have left is one ready to go for her channel. So I'll do at least one more for both channels. And then we're waiting for the other ones. I'm requesting Jody to see if we can even attempt to get Jody Arias's calls. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll have to see. But otherwise, you know, on Patreon, I'm going to be reviewing some new recent things. I think I'm going to do a whole live on experts commenting on active cases and kind of look at and talk about different experts and their opinions and how that might affect the case or whatever. She was married, Nurse Kristen, which that stood out to me too. Wait, Jacob knows them, Tess? Oh my God. Because he's saying that she wasn't innocent. Yeah, she was married. I don't know, you guys. I went dark. Well, thank you for rejoining. I'm not sure if the brothers saw anything, but all the LE were there, really destabilizing. Wait, let me see Tessa's first. They had to leave the house and are totally traumatized. She has a brother who has Down syndrome. Jacob told me about it before it hit the news. Let's see what Tess said. Oh, thank you, Mayla's mom. I'm going to do that soon. Another one. I was thinking about doing it today, but then I was very interested in the Karen stuff. My son's new girl he's seeing was one of the people who got a body part in their yard from that guy who dismembered his pregnant sister. Oh, my God. Wow. What the F? Thank you, Grandma Cece. Thank all you guys who are here and supporting me, no matter what I talk about. I just really appreciate you guys. And yeah, you mean so much to me. And I hope your kids are getting out of school too and you're able to relax a little bit for the summer, even though all the kids being at home isn't really relaxing either, is it? But I did see Amber has a live tonight. Let me drop her link again. Please check out her channel. She does a great job. I know Bendy has a live. Amber, I need to reach out to you. I had a really busy day, but I do want to talk about some of the things we were talking about with Jesse Calhoun. Bendy, I know Melissa Jade has a live tonight, and then I will see you guys soon. Let me do that. I'm going to drop Deets one more time because she's been covering Karen so much. And that was a lot of what we talked about today. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a great night. I will see you soon. And yeah, if I don't go, I'll say goodbye for like 30 more minutes. And I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm just going to hit the link and let you go. I love and appreciate you guys and hope you have a great night. Bye.